So you're thinking about ordering a Tesla. You're in the process of ordering one. You've already ordered one, or you're just watching this video for fun? Well, whichever one you are, you've probably got some questions. Whether that be, how do you actually buy one of these cars? Because the car buying experience is probably different than what you're used to. Like, you can't just walk into a dealership and go, yeah, I want this exact one. Sell this exact one to me right now. Doesn't work like that. You're in the process of ordering one and you're wondering, how is all this going to work? When do I submit payment? Who are Tesla's financing partners? Seriously, how does all of this work and what am I in for? Or your order is in and you're staring at your Tesla account wondering, why is my estimated delivery date jumping all over the place? Seriously, when am I going to get this thing? Well, in this video, I'm going to be answering those questions, providing some information that I think you should know, that I think you'll find very useful, and some tips that may even help speed up the process of getting your car sooner. My name is Jeremiah. This is the My Tesla channel, name still pending, might change it, don't know. And I recently went through the entire process of buying a 2021 Model 3 long range, and finally, after months, took delivery. Now, if you're watching this video, then you've probably watched other videos on purchasing a Tesla, as did I when I was in the process of buying mine. But there was a problem with a lot of those videos. And that was like 99% of them were out of date and made prior to the demand skyrocketing and all the supply chain shortages. A lot of the videos that you'll see online now are 6+ months to a year to even multiple years ago, when the ordering process was fundamentally the same, but the experience and what you're going to experience if you order one now is very, very different. I'm looking at you, 9+ month wait time. Now I'm going to be splitting this video up into different sections: how to actually order a Tesla, so where to actually buy it, configuring it and whatnot, getting your order in, so essentially just completing your account, because an incomplete account can actually delay the delivery of your vehicle, and the wait, what you should do while you're waiting, how to speed it up if you can. Timestamps down below, or you can use the chapters tool, but let's get started. So I know the whole ordering a Tesla, if you've bought like anything online ever, or if you've just ordered one in the past, might sound super self-explanatory, but with Teslas more in demand now than ever, I thought going over how to actually, configure the car to your liking could be beneficial to some if you're just completely lost. So let's hop on over to the computer and let's take a look at the website and let's show you how to actually configure one of these cars so you can buy it. So let's go. So once you're on your computer or your phone or literally anything that can access the internet, you're just going to go to Tesla, if I could actually spell, .com. And then from there, you'll see that it's a pretty easy to navigate site. You can either scroll down to see all of the vehicles that they offer, and then other things such as solar roof, solar panels, or all of that can be selected from the top. Now over on the right-hand side is where you can access the shop, your accounts, and then the menu. Now the menu will actually give you more options, so you can see existing inventory, which we'll talk about later in the video. You can see used inventory. You can see, your trade-in value for your car. You can schedule test drives, and of course there's a Cybertruck, the Roadster, Semi, charging Powerwall, so on and so forth. Like I said, we're going to come back to existing inventory later in the video, but for right now, let's go ahead and let's choose, for example, a Model 3, because that's what I ordered. Now, today actually kind of is a weird day to do this with the Model 3, because the Model 3 just received a pretty significant update. Essentially, from what I've heard, everything now under the Model 3 section is the 2022s, so the ranges are different, the 0 to 60s are different. They completely dropped to Standard Range Plus, but that's not what this video is about. First thing you're going to do once you've clicked on whatever vehicle you plan on ordering, so S, X, Y, or 3 like we're doing here, the first thing you're going to do is that you're going to switch from potential savings to purchase price. Potential savings is going to show much less. So the price of the vehicles are going to be a whole lot lower, and that essentially just takes in the potential savings of not having to buy gas. I don't think it factors in you not having to service the vehicle, oil changes, or anything like that. I think it just calculates in gas, and that's over the course of, I believe it's like 7 years. But go ahead and swap it over to purchase price, and that's where you're going to see the actual cost of the vehicle. So once you have switched from potential savings to purchase price, your first option is going to be, well, what version of the Model 3 do you want? Do you want the normal Model 3? Yes, this used to be called the Standard Range Plus. Like I said, it's kind of a weird day to use the Model 3 as an example just because it just went through a bunch of updates, but nonetheless. Do you want the normal one? Do you want the long range? Or do you want the performance? Now, if you do want a side-by-side comparison of all three, you can click the Learn More, and you'll be able to kind of see them being compared side by side when it comes to acceleration, range, top speed, drivetrain. And then if you actually click on over, then it kind of just gets into the basics of the vehicle. And this kind of applies to all of them, no matter which one you actually get. So like easy charging, over-the-air updates, Sentry mode, storage, the mobile app, all that. I'm not going to get into which one I think you should get, which one I think is the best, just because it's completely personal preference and just completely and entirely depends on what you need. Topic for a different video. But once you have chosen which one you're going to go with, you can go ahead and scroll on down. We're just going to go with the normal Model 3 for this example. From there, you have 5 paint options. Currently, right now, the Pearl White Multicoat is the free one. If you're unaware, Tesla normally cycles out which color is the free one. I believe it used to be black, but now and for the past, I believe year and a half, the white has been the free one. So they might change it soon, but nonetheless, you have 5 paint options. The white one is currently free, and the white and the red are the only 2 multi-coat options. So just letting you know there. The other colors are black, gray, or midnight silver metallic, and blue or deep blue metallic. The white is free. The black, gray, and blue will all cost you an extra $1,000, and then the red multi-coat will cost you $2,000. So we are just going to go with the white for this example. Scrolling on down, you have 2 different options for wheels. You have the 18-inch Aero wheels or the 19-inch Sport wheels. The Aero wheels are included. The Sport wheels are an extra $1,500. Also, depending on which wheel you get, your range, your estimated range will update. They actually just started doing this today. Beforehand, if you swap to the Sport wheels, it would still show you the estimated range for the Aero wheels. So it's really nice to see this. So the Aero wheels are, of course, they're more aerodynamic. It's less rim, so better ride quality. And you will get an estimated range of 272 miles. But if you switch over to the 19-inch Sport wheels, they definitely look a lot better. They're going to run you an extra $1,500, and you will be getting less range. They also ride just a little bit rougher, in case you're curious. So we're just going to go with the 18-inch Aero wheels. Now, scrolling down, you have 2 options for your interior. You have all black, which is included, and you have black and white, which is an extra $1,000. So the all black, of course, it's just all black, and then you have this wood trim along the dash. And for anyone wondering, it is real wood. It's thin wood, but it is real wood. And then the black and white, the seats are white, and the trim along the dash is white. The only thing I'm going to say here is that if you want the white seats, get the white seats. They're not hard to clean. Maintenance is not as much as you think. Yes, it is more maintenance than just the all black seats, but it's not as hard as you think, even if you have kids or pets or anything like that. If you want the white seats, get the white seats. Trust me, you'll thank me later because, if you get down the line, you realize you want to change before you take delivery. It's just a huge hassle. Just look up some Reddit posts and some YouTube videos. You'll see that white seats are not hard to clean. If you want them, get them. But we are going to go with all black interior just for this video. Now, scrolling down, your final option is going to be, do you want full self-driving or not? Now, 2 things you should know is that full self-driving is not autopilot. Every Tesla comes standard with autopilot for free. If you want to know the difference, just go on YouTube and type in autopilot versus full self-driving. That'll kind of give you the whole rundown. And then the second thing you should know is that full self-driving can be purchased after the fact. So if you're unsure and you think that if I don't buy full self-driving now, then I can never get it, that's just not the case. It can be purchased after the fact. I'm not going to get into whether I think full self-driving is worth it or not. That's going to be a topic for a different video here on the channel. But just know that full self-driving comes with navigate on autopilot, auto lane change, auto park, summon, the full self-driving computer, which is actually kind of a lie, considering that even if you don't get full self-driving at the time of purchase, you can, your car still comes with a full self-driving computer. I didn't buy full self-driving when I purchased mine, and mine still has the full self-driving computer. I just got to pay the 10 grand, and then bam, my car would have full self-driving. From there, you're going to scroll on down, and you're going to see your estimated delivery date, which is in September. And yes, this is September of 2022 at the time of recording this video. Now, something you should know is that depending on the version of the Model 3 you get, and also the upgrades will depend on when you actually get your vehicle. So the standard, most basic, plain Jane Model 3 you can get, it has an estimated delivery of September. But if you change anything, and I mean anything, on the regular Model 3, whether it be the paint color, the wheels, the interior, your delivery will go down to, I believe it's June. Yeah, so I changed it from white to solid black, and now my delivery is in June. So if you scroll down, you can see it's in June. So, I mean, if it's worth getting the car 3 to 4 months early to pay like an extra $1,000 for like a different coat of paint or like different wheels, then go for it. But once you're done configuring your Model 3, you can come down here and press this little up arrow, and this will kind of tell you how you're going to be paying for it, like an estimate. If you're leasing or if you're wanting to do a loan, you can put in your down payment. So like it defaults to $4,500, but if we up that to 10 grand, it will lower our financed amount and it will give us a new loan payment down here. Your APR you can't change, at least for the example. And then leasing, you can do the same. You can change your annual miles, your down payment, your term. It'll show you how much you're going to be paying per month. And then cash is pretty self-explanatory. But this is not like a set in stone thing. This is just an example. But then from there, you're going to hit continue to payment. And this is where you will be able to go ahead and pay your $250. And it is a non-refundable order fee. And it can be paid with a credit card. And the $250 does go toward the price of the vehicle. So don't think, it's just $250 free dollars for Tesla. It is if you cancel your order, but it will go toward the price of the car. You can also see here all the customizations you made, and then you can choose cash, lease, and loan. But that is how to configure a Model 3. You'll just put in all your information and hit place order. So once you have hit place order, you will be taken to your haha yes confirmation screen. I got a porcupine. Let me know what you got. And from there, you will either need to A, create a Tesla account, or B, if you're a psychopath like me and you created your account months ago, long before actually ordering the vehicle, and you've went to the site probably 100 different times to configure 100 different versions of the car before finally pulling the trigger, well, then you can just sign in. At the same time as you're creating your account or signing in, you will be getting a few emails from Tesla, essentially just telling you to complete your pre-delivery task. So once you're signed in and on your account dashboard, you will now see your newly ordered Tesla. It's going to look a little bit different from mine just because yours is going to be a reservation number where mine shows a VIN, but you get my point. Go ahead, click on your vehicle, and get ready for the fun stuff. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be upfront and say that I do not have recording of this process of actually completing your pre-delivery task, simply because it's a lot of personal information, and knowing me, I would screw up and forget to like blur out my social security or something like that, and next thing you know, there'd be like a $60,000 loan taken out in my name for, I don't know, Tesla stock or something. So, yeah, I'm just going to have like the email that I actually got sent over here, just so you can actually kind of see where we're at each step of the way. First up is going to be choosing a delivery location. Now, you can also choose home delivery if it's available in your area, but it wasn't for me. And plus, I feel like picking up from a actual service center or a showroom is much, much more fun. And it kind of gives you the whole experience. I mean, you literally show up and it's just a parking lot full of Teslas. But if you want to do home delivery, then you can. But if not, well, then just choose the closest service center / showroom that's around you. Yeah. Secondly is going to be registration. This is kind of boring. It's just a bunch of personal information. So just fill it out and continue on. Third is going to be trade-in. And if you're not trading in your current vehicle to Tesla, then you can just hit no and continue on. But if you are choosing to trade into Tesla, then this is where you'll put the vehicle and all the information associated with the vehicle. Now, this is where the tips are going to start. Please do not forget that the trade-in quote that you get from Tesla on your current vehicle is only good for 30 to 60 days. So if the Tesla you are buying does not have an estimated delivery to like 2+ months out, or even I would just be on the safe side and say over a month out, then your trade-in quote is going to expire and you're going to have to get another quote. Now, what I'm about to say is not financial advice, but with the current used car market going crazy, it might be a better idea, if you can survive without a vehicle, to trade in your vehicle now to a third party. This way you can just avoid the hassle that is trying to get another quote, and then if that quote expires, then getting another quote. I've seen some horror stories of people going through like 2 or 3 quotes from Tesla before finally getting their Tesla, and they could have just sold it like 2 or 3 months prior and actually got more money out of it. Now, number 4 on the pre-delivery task checklist is going to be the big one: payment method. This is probably what a lot of you are here for. In this section, you have two different options, cash and finance. For cash, you just submit the full payment after you get your VIN. Super straightforward. Actually, in fact, you don't owe a single dime, whether you choose cash or financing, until you actually get a VIN, except for the order fee that you just paid. But besides that, you don't pay a single cent to Tesla until you get a VIN. And even then, it's still about 2 weeks after whenever your delivery date is scheduled. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you switch on over to finance, you should see, depending on the state you live in, two options, loan or lease. If you only see loan, then the state that you're currently in does not offer leasing, like leasing just isn't available. Mine didn't offer it. Thanks, Kentucky. First up, let's talk about the loan, because there's a few different options. You can either get a loan through Tesla. Well, it's technically their financing partners. As far as I'm aware, Tesla doesn't have their own bank that you can actually get a loan through. But yeah, it should be their financing partners. Or you can just get a third-party loan from a third party, like your bank or credit union. For anyone wondering, Tesla's financing partners are, because these are the banks that will actually be approving you, BMO Harris, Chase Banks, like JP Morgan Chase Bank, TD Auto, US Bank, and Wells Fargo. Now, financing through Tesla is a little weird because it's only available to people in select states, or if you set your pickup location to one of those select states. For example, financing through Tesla wasn't available in my state, Kentucky, but because I took delivery in a different state, that being Ohio, where Tesla financing was available, I was able to finance through Tesla. It's really weird. I'll have the official Tesla website page that goes more in depth on the, lending process linked in the description. So if you want to check that out, like I said, it goes a whole lot more in depth. So you can check that out down below. So now back to financing through Tesla. You will be able to adjust how much you want to put down, which will in turn affect how much your down payment will be, or vice versa. So if you already have a number in mind for how much you want your monthly payment to be, well, then that will adjust your down payment. The more money you put down, the less your monthly payment will be, but you already knew that. Now, while you're doing this, please don't forget that this does not include taxes. Taxes cannot be rolled into the loan if you're financing through Tesla, like it sometimes can with third-party lenders. So yeah, just don't forget that, unless it specifically states otherwise, which as far as I'm aware, you can't get taxes rolled directly, into the loan through Tesla. But if you experience something different, then let me know. But as far as I'm aware, you can't get taxes rolled in. Now, of course, if you're not financing through Tesla, or if it's not available in your state at all, then you will have to choose third party. And at that point, you'll just submit the loan or the approval that you got from your local bank or credit union or whatever. But wait a second, stop, hold on right there. Before you submit anything at all, I want you to go and check your vehicle's estimated delivery date. The reason you're doing this is because once your loan application is approved through Tesla or even a third party, it's only good for 30 to 60 days, as most auto loans are. And if your delivery date is more than a month out, well, then you run the risk of your approval expiring. That means that when your delivery date nears and you finally get a VIN, Tesla will refresh your application, assuming it did expire, and you'll get another hard pull on your credit report. Now, I know that hard pulls aren't the biggest deal, but why get more than what you need? If you know it's going to expire, why not just hold off, So now here's where the big tip comes in, all right? If your estimated delivery is over a month out, just choose cash. Don't apply for the loan through Tesla. Don't submit your own third-party loan. Don't even go to your local bank or credit union to get a loan. Just select cash and hit continue. Then when you actually get your VIN, just ring up Tesla and ask them to switch your account or your reservation, your order of your vehicle over to a loan, and then you can apply for the loan, or you can go to your bank or credit union and actually get the loan, and then you can submit it through there. This is totally legit. Don't think I'm just, pulling your strings here. If you want to, you can actually call up Tesla before you even submit your order and ask them if you can do this. And I know that a lot of senior advisors or the financial underwriters are actually starting to tell people to do this simply because they know the wait times are getting ridiculous, and they know that your loan is more than likely going to expire, whether that be through them or through a third party. Now, if you're thinking, well, why don't I just select a loan and then just leave it alone until I get a VIN? Well, if you do that, then your account will be considered incomplete, and you'll probably never get a VIN, or you'll essentially be at the back of the line constantly. This is because in Tesla's eyes, your account is incomplete and they don't know how you plan on paying for this vehicle. If it's just a blank loan and you haven't applied for it and you haven't submitted anything, well, then in their eyes, you're not a priority. Hopefully, once Tesla catches up and they actually start delivering these vehicles within a reasonable time, then you won't need to do this. But I don't see it getting any better before it gets worse. So for the time being, if your estimated delivery date is more than a month out, just select cash and then switch it over once you actually get your VIN. Because if you select cash, well, then Tesla just thinks that you're paying in cash and they're going to get a VIN to you and a vehicle to you as fast as possible. I went through the whole my loan expired and it had to be refreshed, and it could have literally just been avoided had I selected cash or been warned. Now, while we're on the topic of loans, Tesla does rate match, and you can also ask them to shop around for a better rate. I'll leave the email to contact their financial underwriters down in the description, so you can actually ask them to shop around and try to find a better rate for you. Essentially, if you get approved from one of their financing partners, you can actually ask them to shop around through their other financial partners to see if you can actually get a better rate. I've seen stories of people spending like 15 minutes to write an email and getting almost like an entire percent shaved off of their APR. I know that the lowest APR it shows on the website is a 2.49 at the time of this recording, but it can actually go below that if you just ask them to, like I said, shop around. Tesla is going to give you whatever lending partner approves you first. So it might be worth the extra time. Also, if you get approved through Tesla, but then you go to a local bank or credit union and they actually approve you for a better rate, you can actually send that rate and that approval into Tesla and they should match you. I'll leave that email down below as well because it's two different emails for that. Now, what about leasing? And well, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not too sure because it wasn't available in my state. The only things that I do know is that leasing does have the option to roll the sales tax of the vehicle into your monthly payment, unlike the loan through Tesla. But if you don't want to do that, then you can just pay the sales tax up front whenever you take delivery. Also, another thing to note, leasing does require your down payment plus your first month's bill plus an accusation fee at the time of signing. And then also, if you don't roll taxes into it, then add taxes on top of that. The official Tesla website page that goes more in depth on the lending, like I mentioned earlier, actually does go in depth on leasing. So you can check that out, like I mentioned earlier. So once you're ready to submit your application, whether that be loan or lease, you can actually expand here. There should be an option, like a little plus sign, to expand and see a full breakdown of everything you're going to be paying and what you owe. It might not include taxes. It might include taxes. It kind of just depends. But it will include your documentation and destination fee, which is normally about $12.50 USD. But I digress. Now, for anyone wondering, because I mentioned that mine didn't include sales tax, I paid that after the fact at my local DMV about 2 weeks after taking delivery, once I had received my self-registration packet in the mail from Tesla. Sometimes they do all your registration there before you even pick up the car, but if you're in a weird state like I am, then they have to send you a self-registration packet. Now, the fifth and final task, which is where most of you will probably get stuck on, is insurance. The insurance section is a little weird because in certain states, which if you're on this screen, you can actually see what states those are, you can just upload your current vehicle's insurance and you're fine, but most states requires you to actually have the Tesla's VIN on your insurance. So you're just going to be stuck waiting for a VIN. Also, you can get a quote from Tesla for their own insurance, but I believe this is only available in California at the moment. Maybe Texas. I think it might be available in Texas, but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's only available in California for right now. But whether you upload your current insurance or you're stuck waiting for your VIN, well, you might as well get used to this page because you're going to be staring at it for a while. Now, speaking of waiting for your VIN, well, if you are currently doing that, well, then welcome to the wait. Now, when it comes to the waiting process, your experience can be drastically different than, let's say, Billy Bob Joe down the street, depending on what vehicle you ordered and what version of that vehicle. For example, if right now you order a Model 3 Performance, your wait isn't going to be that bad, and you'll more than likely be behind the wheel within about a month. But on the other hand, if you order the most basic plain Jane Model 3, well, you could literally have a kid before you actually get the car. I'm going to be approaching this section of the video from the perspective that you're going to be waiting at least a few months. So first thing, let's discuss that constantly changing estimated delivery date in your account. You should, in all honesty, just ignore it, but I know you're checking your account multiple times a day and ignoring it is not an option. Your estimated delivery date, or what I'm just going to call EDD, will update twice daily. Once at around 9 a.m. EST and once again at around 9 p.m. EST. It's actually around between like 8 to 10 a.m. and then like 8 to 10 p.m., but I'm just going to put it slap dab in the middle. And when I say update, I mean the site is trying to refresh your EDD, but sometimes it just doesn't change. It's essentially just trying to get the most updated delivery time frame for you. Now, you might notice that sometimes your EDD will be an estimated time frame, and then it'll change to just being a month. Like, for example, from August 10th to September 10th, and then it just updates saying like October or something. I'm just throwing out random examples. And when this happens, you'll notice that the month that it gives you is normally the same month as if you were to put in a brand new order. So, for example, I believe right now the standard Model 3s are being delivered in September or October. And let's say you put in an order like a month ago at the time of this video going live. And then randomly one day it updates to being, you know, the standard delivery date that anyone will see that's on the public website. Now, when this does happen, because it happened to me quite a few times, don't freak out. It's just the site failing to actually receive any data, and it will go back to normal in the following days, or maybe one time it took a week for it to actually change back to my correct time frame, but yeah. Now, let's discuss a few theories. First up, the theory that when your EDD slowly starts shrinking, that means you're about to get a VIN. Well, this is indeed correct. If you notice that your EDD is no longer being super erratic and is slowly becoming more consistent, so it's not just bouncing all over the place, along with your EDD time frame slowly shrinking, well, get ready because you're about to be blessed with a VIN. Normally how it happens is that your EDD time frame will be about the span of 4 weeks and it will begin shrinking. Your earliest day will go forward by a few days and your latest date will move backwards by a few days. So for example, you check your account and it says August 1st to September 1st, and then a few days later you check and it says August 4th through like August 27th. It's slowly shrinking in. Now, there are some reports of people being able to actually see their VIN early, by checking the source code on the website. This never worked for me personally, but I will link a Reddit post down below that will show you how to do this. Okay, so now another theory is that your senior advisor or your SA can see more about your vehicle when it's gonna be built and when you'll get a VIN than you can. This is true and false. What I mean by this is if you're still like 2 months out from your original EDD, then yeah, they literally don't know more than you. The only time that they can see more than you is when you get a lot closer to actually getting the car, like 3 weeks out from your original EDD. When this happens, they will be able to see a soft build date and a soft delivery date. So when your car should be built and when your car should be delivered based off if the car gets built on when it's expected to. So like I said, unless you're super close to your original EDD, then it's not really worth pestering your SA about because they literally don't know more than what you know. Now, let's talk about your senior advisor. You should be assigned one within about a week of placing your order, and they should contact you via text message, or like I said, at least they should. Getting a good senior advisor that actually, well, responds to your text and knows what they're talking about is kind of hit or miss. You can't really do anything about getting a bad senior advisor. I mean, you could call the Tesla support number and, you know, complain that they're just not responding to you, but even then, you might just be stuck. The SA that you get is normally at the location that you're taking delivery, like they work there. Or if you're taking home delivery, then the location that the car is being shipped to and then, you know, home delivered to you. They normally work there, so sometimes you're just stuck with what you got. My original SA sucked. And when I say sucked, I mean ghosted me for weeks, would never respond to any of my texts or anything like that. And then randomly one day I just got a message from a new number and said that they were my new SA and they answered all of my questions like right away. So I don't know. I guess I just got lucky. So now let's discuss when you should actually get your vehicle, because I know your EDD is all over the place and you just want to get this stupid thing already. The absolute best estimate, and get ready for it, some of you all might not like it, your original EDD. Now, you all have heard me say original EDD a few times now, and by that I mean the original time frame estimate you were given when you placed the order. So for example, if you go on the Tesla website right now and you go to one of the vehicles, whatever it tells you the estimated delivery time is, that's what your original EDD is. But of course it'll be different because it'll be the EDD that you were shown on the website when you placed your order. For example, when I ordered mine, the original estimated delivery date on the website was 7 to 11 weeks. I originally thought that I might end up getting it before that because my EDD was showing a whole lot sooner than 7 to 11 weeks. But in the end, it just kept getting pushed back and back and back, and I finally took delivery on the 11th week. Your best bet is to just go off the time frame you were originally given when you ordered the vehicle. So now let's talk about how you can potentially get your Tesla sooner. The only real way to go about doing this is via existing inventory. Remember earlier when we were on the website and I was showing you all the tab on the side and I said we'd come back to existing inventory? Well, now we're going to talk about it. The existing inventory page is essentially the same page as the used car page, except it only shows new cars. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say that if you've yet to put your order in, I really recommend checking the existing inventory page like right now to see if the vehicle that you were going to configure and order is actually in the existing inventory. Now, if you are able to find one near you and you're able to pick it up from the showroom that it's going to / already at, then you won't be charged a transport fee. But if the vehicle is, let's say, going to a different state and you want it shipped to you or to the showroom nearest to you, then there will be a transport fee. I've seen transport fees from as low as $500 to just get it shipped across a few states to as high as $2,500 to get it shipped across the country. So if you get lucky and you find the exact spec you want in existing inventory and it's already going to a place near you, then you can pick it up for free. Or you could just drive really far out of your way if you want to avoid the transport fee. But if not, and you want it shipped to you, then be prepared to pay a transport fee. Now, what if you already have an order in? Now, if you have a really good senior advisor, then technically they should contact you if an existing inventory vehicle in your exact spec is in the area, aka the showroom that you were already going to take delivery at. So if one comes to the place where you were already taking delivery and it's your exact spec, then they should contact you. But with how in-demand Teslas are, existing inventory vehicles are normally sold within minutes of them being on the website. And the reason for this is because people don't trust their SAs to grab an existing inventory vehicle fast enough, so they're just manually refreshing the site and just grabbing them themselves. Now, speaking of senior advisors and existing inventory, you also could reach out to them and let them know that, if you really just want to get the car as fast as possible, that you don't care about the spec. I mean, the actual version of the vehicle. So, you probably don't want to go from a standard Model 3 to a performance, but I'm assuming you wouldn't mind if the standard Model 3 that you got with black seats came with white seats instead, if it meant that you could get it 6 months early. So if you let them know, hey, I don't really care if it's a different color or if it has different interior or if it has different wheels, if anything comes in that's a standard Model 3, then I'll take it. But if you want the exact car that you configured, well, then you could also just, remind them that, hey, you wouldn't mind taking an existing inventory. But like I said, your SA is probably not going to be able to grab it fast enough, so it's going to be up to you to manually check the existing inventory. Now, one thing you should know right off the bat is that sometimes when you go to the existing inventory page, you throw in your zip code and you set the distance to the max of 200 miles, literally nothing comes up. In fact, 99% of the time that you're doing this, nothing will come up. But sometimes something will come up and it'll be way outside of 200 miles of you. It's very random. At this point, I don't think Tesla even factors in the location setting. I think they just throw up whatever they have on the site and anyone in the US can just snag it. But nonetheless, if you are able to find one on the existing inventory page, your best bet is just to immediately put an order in for it. Now, you could also ring up your SA and let them know that you found an existing inventory one and you just want your order switched to that one. That way you don't have to pay another $250 out of pocket on the spot. But like I said, there's people watching the existing inventory page like an absolute hawk. So in my opinion, it's just better to put a new order in. Then once you have your order in, just ring up your SA and let them know that you found one in existing inventory. Then from there, they should be able to actually transfer the $250 order fee from your original order over to your new existing inventory order. Because remember, the order fee is non-refundable, but it's not non-transferable. The only thing that might get a little sticky is if you already have your loan or your financing set up on your original order, because that can't be transferred. But if you chose cash, like I said in the beginning of the video, well, then no harm, no foul. Now, I know that sitting around refreshing the Tesla website isn't something that everyone has time to do, myself included, but that's where some amazing people over on Reddit come in. There have been Discord servers that have been made by these beautiful Redditors that actually refresh Tesla's website every 5 seconds, the existing inventory page, and will alert you whenever an existing inventory vehicle becomes available in your area or for your configuration. Just join the server and then download the mobile app and turn on notifications inside the mobile app for the channel in the server that is going to be alerting you for your area or your vehicle configuration. I never used one personally just because, like I originally said, I thought I was going to get my vehicle a whole lot sooner, and it just kept on getting pushed back and back. And by the time that I actually wanted to join one of the servers, well, I was only about 2 weeks out from actually taking delivery of the exact one that I ordered. But I have heard a ton of success stories of people grabbing existing inventory models. Like, just go to Reddit and you'll see a ton of success stories. Okay, so now one of the big things that you might be asking is, well, how does a car even end up in existing inventory? Is there something wrong with it? Well, from what I've heard, 99% of vehicles that end up on the existing inventory is because the original order, the person originally ordering it, their payment method or like financing just fell through. It really is just a classic case of once meet paycheck reality. It could also be the fact that maybe they just weren't available for delivery, because whenever your car comes in, you only have 3 days to pick it up, and they give you a select 3 days. And if you can't pick it up then or have someone pick it up for you, well, then they just give it to the next person. So that could be another reason. Now, there is the small chance that the vehicle was rejected by the original person ordering it due to quality control issues. But normally when a car gets rejected by someone, Tesla will fix whatever that person rejected about it, and then they'll put it in the existing inventory. If you do manage to get one out of the existing inventory, just whenever you ring up your SA, just ask them why it's in there, and you'll be able to find out for your exact vehicle. Okay, so that is the entire ordering process all the way up until you get your VIN. After you get the VIN, I would classify that not in the wait section, but in the getting ready to take delivery section. Now, seeing as this video is already over 30 minutes, I'm actually going to be making a separate video. That video is going to be discussing and going over what to do and what to expect once you actually do receive the VIN. So like getting your agreement, submitting final payments, and everything like that. And then eventually also taking delivery. So what you need to take with you on delivery day and the checklist and all that. Just like this video was a literally everything to know, so will that video. I'm literally going to go over everything. That video should be out within about a week or so. But nonetheless, that is the entire ordering process, from going to the website, configuring the vehicle, going through everything you need to know when it comes to actually completing your account, and then what you need to know while you're waiting to get that VIN. I know this was a long video, but for anyone that made it to the end, just know that everything I just explained took months of waiting myself and stalking Reddit for the experiences of others. So literally hundreds of people. And you just got all that in about 30 minutes. So, hey, not a bad deal. Now, if you did enjoy the video, then feel free to drop a like down below along with a comment. Let me know which spec Tesla you're thinking about ordering or already have on order. I'm curious. Also, feel free to share this video with a friend that you think might find it useful. If you're watching this video and you're not ordering a Tesla, maybe you're watching because your friend's ordering one, or one of your relatives is ordering one, shoot it to them. Let them know what they're in for. And finally, if you did enjoy the video and you would like to see more Tesla related content in your subscription box, well, then feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Lots of content coming. Lots of content coming. So with that being said, we'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.